Are you ready to show yourselves approved? I hope so, because you're about to witness the banner. So I think you'll agree by the time this video's over that we needed to revisit 68. I apologize. There was things that I should have talked about that we read in 68 yesterday. I failed to do that, and they're huge. It's a matter of life or death. They're a must, these things. And I want to show you, if someone hears me say that chapter 68 of Psalms is a treasure map, and if you think I'm just that I'm just using figures of speech, and you don't think that I'm being serious, that I really think it's a real treasure map. If you think that, I'm going to prove to you that this literally is a treasure map. The treasure is eternal life, the kingdom, the throne, the reward that the Bible has aimed us to. And there's only one reward, right? There's not two or three. There's one. Watch how this chapter is going to guide you, and it's going to prove to you beyond the shadow of a doubt that what I've been saying about this, not just the treasure map, but that it's going to show you the reality of it, how real it is. You won't be able to deny it. Watch. The Most High arises. His enemies are scattered, and those who hate him flee before him. Now, you might not believe this right now, but by the time we're done with this chapter, you'll believe me. You'll know that I was telling you the truth. I've said that Mark chapter 14 is like our journey, the Lamb's journey, what we got to do summed up in short form. Like they summarized it. And that's what 14 is. I've said that. This is what you got to do summed up in one chapter. And you're going to see. And this is the beginning of the end. Verse 1 is the beginning of like the tribulation, what we're going through at the time of the end. Because listen, it says the Most High arises. And like I said, you're probably not going to believe me right now. But when we're done with the chapter, you're going to know that I was telling you the truth. So he's saying he rises up. So the Most High has rose up, and his enemies are scattered, okay? And those who hate him flee before him. We have to stop reading the word and looking at it the way we always have, the way we were taught, the way everyone before us did. Because it's a fact that they got it wrong. A lot of it, maybe all of it. I guarantee you that the majority of the people who read this, when they read that verse 1 right there, they're thinking about people that the world knows they hate the Most High. Like, he's going to that all the thugs and criminals and stuff are going to flee. But you have to remember that his words are always necessary, and they're calculated and time precise and strategically placed. He don't mess around. He ain't like us. We're not like him. He's meaning those who really hate him. The world, the people who read this, they believe that hate is, they got a twisted idea of what the word hate is, what it means. And we have to understand, we have to put our BEREAN caps on and understand that our actions is what determines whether or not we hate someone or we love someone. And our words can never play a part. They can never be in the equation, no matter how many words you say out your mouth. They never, they're not added to that. But the world, they believe that when they say they love someone or something, that's they love them. But the evidence could be that if you looked at the actions and the history and what is on paper at the receipts, you'll see that they did not love that person. But I understand that the world thinks that love comes from your mouth, but it does not. So I assure you, this is talking about the beginning of the end days, that the Most High would rise, and this is what it's talking about when he says, who can stand in the day of his coming, in the day he is made manifest? He's the Word, and the Word is judging everyone. It's proving everyone. And how is that? I mean, just take a look around. There's tons of people, and the reason I'm saying this is because I want anyone that hears this to get it through their head to not do this. The majority of the world are of those who say they love the Most High, and they aren't those who hate him. They live their life according to almost everything the Most High in his word said he hates, and that we are not to do, and that we will be destroyed for it. And they're doing it, and they firmly believe that they're doing the right thing, that they're doing the Most High a favor or something, that they're on his side, and that they're going to make it to heaven. They done got it figured out. But you see, that's, if you want to know what the tree in the garden was, the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, take a good long look at what we're talking about right now. That's the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, and its fruit. If we think and walk around in this life and think that the words are the definitions, what words mean are what we say they mean. But we're living our life trying to be accepted into the kingdom with the Creator, with the mighty Most High, who is righteous all the time, and the creator of the words. He knows what the words mean. And if he says hate means this, this is what it means. But the world don't see it that way. But there is where that horrible, rude awakening is going to come into play. Because they're thinking that this is talking about the people they hate, the left or something. The right wing Republican types are probably thinking them's all the LGBTQ and everything. What they don't realize is it's anyone who hates him, and almost everyone does. And it's proven. The Most High has the receipts. He knows what you've been doing. And see, all that unrighteous inscription has watered the truth down so much, and we're so far away from when people spoke it, and we've been in this time of darkness for so long that the world is convinced that they love the Most High, and all the people that they read about in the Bible that's going to be destroyed, that the Most High's pissed with, they've avoided the truth, avoided reading the Word, to the point that they don't understand that they are the ones that the Word is telling us will be destroyed. They're the enemies, and they can't see that. So his enemies flee before him, and that's what happens. They flee. The bottom of the Nikes. That's what happens. And look, you can be pastor of the year, the nicest, sweetest person on the face of the earth, and own a church, all that stuff. You can do all that stuff. If you can't sit down and open the Bible, if you're telling me that the rapture is the way it is, and what I'm saying is false, okay, everyone tells me that. So, but if you're that sweetheart pastor, the elder and highly respected, if you tell me I'm wrong, but we can't sit down and open the Bible up and reason together, if you refuse to do that, you can own all the churches. You can be in the front pew every Sunday. You hate the Most High. It don't matter what you're saying. It matters what you're doing. No one who loves the Most High is going to, I wouldn't want to miss any opportunity to read the Word and reason together. But if I'm accusing someone of something like apostasy or leading astray, and I'm a pastor, I'm highly respected, I better be ready to show myself approved, hadn't I? But today, in today's time, we see Nikes every day, everywhere. It's the attack of the killer Nikes. No one wants to look at the truth. You know why? And this is just, this is going to let you know how he always has all the right moves all the time, and just do whatever he tells you. The reason they're running like they do right now from having a conversation and looking into the truth. And in the end, when we're seeing those Nikes, you understand that it never was about the truth. They're mad at you. They want you to shut up. They don't like what you're saying. They got no facts. The reason that happens is because the darkness can't comprehend the light. It just can't. It runs. But the righteous are glad. Oh, excuse me. As smoke is driven away, you drive them away. As wax melts before the fire, the wrong perish before the Most High. Now see, when the Most High arose, and now the son of Adam has came down on the clouds, and the word is here now. And now, because, and this is how it is, the reason we're seeing this truth the way we are is because we are who we are. We're in the time we're in. We have the access to things that we do that other generations before us hadn't never had. And so the word is, we're able to understand it at the level we are, to where other generations before couldn't have, because of world events, the internet, whatever. So now the word is being made manifest, the truth, and now you have a choice to make. Do you abide by the truth and follow the Lamb wherever he leads you, like you say you would? Because if you don't follow the truth, even though, just because it destroys your worldview and the way you see things, if you can't follow the Lamb, because it goes against everything you thought was real, that right there is the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Because you think you know what's good, but the word that you've been telling everyone that it's the truth, that it's the word of the Most High, our Creator. That word, you see that it's telling you that you gotta do something. You have to make that choice. And if you don't do that, you're not following the Lamb. You're being led, but it's not to life, it's to death. And you perish. So you're doing it wrong. That's why the wrong perish. The wrong's going one way, and the right, the ones who got it right, are going the other way. And see, the world is so wrong in their thinking. They think when you say the right are going to live, they get offended and think you're being cocky or arrogant when you say the right. And there's another example of our error in understanding what the words actually mean. No, it would be just like a game. If I got the answers right, I got them right, and I passed. That's what that means. It doesn't mean that I think I'm better than you. No, and it shouldn't. So we have to correct the way we talk and think, and we have to understand that we're not saying nothing if we ain't doing nothing. And who are we kidding to think that we are? And live a whole life, a whole big campaign, claiming that we're walking in the Ruach HaKodesh, whatever. I know, I've done it too. And it's happening. And If it wasn't, I wouldn't be mentioning it. If it wasn't something that most everyone has either done or are doing right now, I wouldn't mention it. So it's obviously a stronghold that's destroying, that needs to come down. And you know how you tear down those strongholds, don't you? You subject every thought to what? To the Word, to the Messiah. He's the Word. See, this ain't a fantasy. This is reality. This isn't a Zelda game. When you have a thought in if you're unsure of something, if you have a bad thought, whatever, any thought that you don't know what to do with, you know what you do with it? You subject it to the Word. And am I lying when I say that the majority of believers, they just think that if they say they subject it to the Messiah, now it's subjected to it, don't they? We all have, but that's a fairy tale. How you subject it to the Word, and it's common sense, is you put it under the microscope with the Word. If it don't match up with the Word, if it goes against what the Most High said, throw it out. So the righteous are glad. He just told us that what would happen when he rose, what the wrong and those who hate him do. And just hold on if you still are unsure that that's talking about all these people who you don't think hate him. You're going to see that it is. And the righteous are glad. So those who do it right are glad. They exalt before the Most High, and they rejoice with gladness. Sing to the Most High. Sing praises to him. Raise up a highway for him who rides through the deserts. By his name Yah, and exalt before him. Your singing praises to him, it is you raising up a highway for him. Raising up a highway. And it's not literal. It's you seeing the truth and the path and home and going. And once you get home, that you will have built up a highway and traveled it back home. And that's what it means. And just the beauty in the highway alone is it's so amazing, and it's so pathetic and ridiculous that we're trying to shine the light on the fact that we don't create the definitions for the words, and we can't be pagan and all this, and we can't say we love the Most High when we clearly don't. These people out here who can't get, grab a hold of all that stuff, they can't move on to solid foods. They're still sucking at the teat. If they only knew what they were missing out on. If they could just see the highway and understand what the highway is for them, and they would stop what they're doing. But you just can't get past that wall. Oh, that's another thing too. That's one more thing. One other thing I failed to mention yesterday that's key, and for those new subscribers, I gotta say this so you guys are aware of this, and it was something I should have said yesterday, but I didn't, so I apologize. But I'm glad you're here. And I'm more than thankful for anyone who stops by and listens to this word. And following the Lamb and being a lover of the word is your desire. Anyone who comes by my door that operates like that, I'm beyond grateful for you showing up. But yesterday I was saying that our achievements, our own righteousness, what we have achieved, how good of a person we've been, or vice versa, has nothing to do with our salvation. And it really doesn't. But there was one thing that I failed to mention. We learned when we went through the book of Ezekiel, we learned that the sons of the Chaldeans, the sons of Babylon, which are all the holidays, anything pagan, anything that has a pagan, that is associated with paganry, whether it's is innocent appearing or not. If it's paganry, if it has anything to do with false deities, gods, whether they're the Easter bunnies, whether you think it means it presents no danger to you or your family in any way. In Ezekiel, the Most High tells us that if you have anything to do with that, it is a wall. And it's if you have that, it's you building a wall between you and the Most High. And the only way the wall comes down is when you get rid of the sons of Babylon. You have to. So that is one thing that you have to do. And there's a couple other things I'm going to mention here in a minute that you do have to do, but they're not achievements. They're things that we should just do. We ought to know. We ought to understand. It's common sense. We are people who read the Bible and we say we are who we are, right? Well, in the Bible, we've read about how the Most High kicked his own children out. If we would have been living in that time, he would have kicked us out for associating with the sons of Babylon. And now, in this time here, we're thinking that we can do it again and not think nothing about it. We are acting like we call the shots when we don't. So you do have some things you have to do. This whole walk is about doing. And that's the problem with the world summed up right there. They have a problem with doing. If they think they are doing, but in reality, they're not doing anything. Going to church and praying every night, which are good things. I mean, if you're going to an assembly, I'm not saying they're not, but that's not keeping the score. And the world, that's how they keep the score. They think they're getting it. They're doing something by doing that. And if they would even give just a smidge of the energy and effort that they give to making a living and impressing and getting the right husband or wife or whatever into reading the word, being a servant lover of the Most High and his word, I mean, it would be insane. But the world don't give much attention to And it's obvious. It shows. I could go on YouTube right now with you, and we could just see all kinds of people talking the word. And you'll stop by and listen. And like I say, I'm looking for, I want to reason with people. I do. But it's obvious. It's so blatant when you listen to almost all of them that they haven't read much scripture. And it's obvious. It shows. And most of what they're talking about is how they feel about things and what they think about it. And the world's been under a spell, but the Most High has rose now. He has risen. So in verse 4, we know it says they sing the renewed song that no one else learns except them. And in the delusion, the believers have always thought that that's just going to be maybe a song that they practice and learn, that no one else, they're going to be the only ones that know how to sing that song. No. Only the ones who are singing them songs, their song, are going to live, because that song is the highway. It's the song of Moses. It's the song of the Lamb. So in verse 4, we see the absolute necessity of the highway. And that highway's built on the Most High by His name. And it is exalting Him, and you ain't gonna do it if you're not wanting to exalt Him. And that's I know, like, the Most High is watching us, and no doubt He is observing someone who is exalting Him in a world full of people who in reality hate His guts and treat Him like a piece of roadkill. Truth be told, I'm sure He's observing someone who exalts. And so I'm sure He does, we do, like, level up, I guess, I mean, if you will, for a lack of a better term, level up in the truth He gives us, because, maybe there's things that we have to understand, and when we come to the understanding of them, we're favored and blessed even more, which we would be, common sense, because we'd understand more of the word. We'd unlock more of the word. But the way we're seeing it, it's from the word, but the Most High is adding everything else in to confirm all that word. And that's part of the highway too, that it's literal. You see, in that delusion and the darkness, the world has been convinced that they don't have to do anything, but they think they're doing something. This is why in all these prophets and stuff, when the Most High's talking to them, when he's telling, like Isaiah, to tell them something, he'll say, you say, like talking about the people, why do you say we do not curse you or whatever and hate you or whatever? We do, or how have we wronged you? And he's telling the people what it is you're saying to me, what I see that you're saying to me. You can tell me that you love me all you want, but I've sat here and watched you treat me like a dog, and not, you're just talking a big game, and that's it. So the world believes that they can do everything against Him, and there's a lot of people who are walking that tightrope of the Torah, Torah observant people. And yes, observe all the Torah to the best of your ability. But how many people are willing to look at this truth? And this truth is the Lamb. It's following the Lamb. It's the key of David. It's the door that the Messiah said he opens and shuts, and no one's able to shut. You know, he's the Word. The Word opens that door up. The key of David. And it's the gate into the city, the single pearl. You got to come in that way. And look, so we see he wants us on a highway. Father of the fatherless and right ruler of widows is the mighty Most High in his set apart dwelling. So you should, any person, if he has a quarter of a brain, he should be able to see that from what we see in verse 4 and 5, he's trying to get us to somewhere, to his dwelling place. He brings up raising up a highway, and he lets you know that if you're fatherless and you're a widow, in his dwelling places where he can be the father to the fatherless and rightly rule over the widow. So he's saying, come here. Raise up a highway and come here. The Most High makes a home for the lonely. He brings out into prosperity those who are bound with chains. Only the rebellious shall dwell in a dry land. Now, you could go back through my videos. If someone hears this that's seen some of my videos like a year or two ago, you'll see that has been fulfilled with me, that scripture right there. And the night I read 68 and that this Sinai caught my eye and I began to realize this was a treasure map, I had no idea what a lot of this meant. I didn't know what he meant by making a home for the lonely. But I mean, if you just think about what I said in the last video, everything I'm telling you that's happening is what the Word tells us would happen. He's letting you know, if you're lonely, fatherless, a widow, if you exalt, if you're not his enemy, you don't hate him, raise up a highway and come to his set apart dwelling where he is your mighty Most High and you are his people. The Most High makes a home for the lonely. He brings out into prosperity those who are bound with chains. If you are brokenhearted, crushed in spirit, and you have experienced all the ice, cold-blooded vampire savagery that goes on in the world, and you probably are like me and you hide your trust. You got no reason to trust people for no reason. You'd be a damn fool to trust one more person and give them the opportunity to do you like all the rest of them have. If you're like that and you come here, you're gonna feel just like I do. You're going to feel the way I told you I feel last night in that video last night. That huge hole, that wormhole, the bottomless pit that I had, that you might be familiar with, that I really didn't even realize I had it. But I was just spinning my wheels in Babylon and heading for a day of weeping and gnashing my teeth, and I didn't even know it. But now I understand that I had that void because it's full now. Now I understand it was there before because I'm so satisfied. I built the highway, and I came home. I was fatherless, and now he's being my father. And you can't tell me that he ain't. I got the proof. I got the documented facts to prove it to you. And I was bound with chains, didn't know it. In everything, all the words, you have to understand the emphasis that's needed with every word he uses, and understand that he ain't playing, and he ain't like you or me. If he writes a word, he ain't just being witty. This is for our lives. He's dynamic and on point every time. The chains he's talking about that the world is bound with, they don't even see the chains. They don't realize those are the chains he's talking about. And the only way you get out of them is when you do like I have. And there's other people, I'm sure. I know. That's another thing. There might not be anyone in this time, in these end days. I might be the first one to stumble upon this. I don't think so. But as far as I'm aware, I haven't seen anyone until the closest one is the lady I told you about yesterday, the foot lamp lady. And I know a couple of you sisters, Tarina and Bethany and them, you have mentioned things that make me think that you are seeing it. And you say you believe me, so I believe you. So, but way back when, all these people we read about in the Bible, they did what this word says. They couldn't stand what happened to Jerusalem, and all they could think about was going home. And there was other people like that Yeats guy, that poem guy. His poems are about going to Jerusalem. And that's what Song of Songs is. That's another thing that reminds me. I've been telling you how Song of Songs is a treasure map, and it's the most beautiful song ever written. And man, when you start picking up on all this treasure map stuff and you read that, prepare for your mind to be blown off your shoulders, because there's a reason in it. It says the bride is a garden is a garden locked. The bride is a garden locked. She's locked, and the key of David's what gets her out. And the key of David is, okay, if the gates are pearls of truth, that's how you get through the wall into the house. And the gate is what opens the door, right? And it's the key of David. The key, excuse me. The key is what opens the door at the gate, right? And it's the key of David. And what's that let you know? It's of David's house that's in Jerusalem. And so we know that if it's a pearl of truth is the gate. So we know it's truth about the house of David, of Jerusalem. That's the key. So when you start to see that, use the key of David and open that door. When you hear the Messiah knocking on that door and you open it out, and he hands you the key of David, the keys to the range, and you just peel out of there and you start seeing all this amazing truth that you've read that you didn't know was there, and you've been reading all this your whole life and you didn't see it, but now you do. When you read Song of Songs, I mean, it's wow. But we have to understand that that's what this is. This is code words in a treasure map, but the treasure's for the kingdom and your eternal life, and the penalty for not finding the treasure is death. Is going to cause you to die. So these are, do you believe the Most High, it does not lie? You should believe that, right? And that if he tells you something, you can take it to the bank. It's a promise. That's what this is. This is a map of what you got to do, where you got to go, and he lets you know what's going to happen when you do and when you don't. He's going to let you know if you're fatherless, he's your father in the land. And if you're a widow, he's going to rule you rightly. Finally, you'll get ruled rightly. And if you're bound with chains, when you get here, they're going to come off and you'll realize they were on you. And you'll realize how free and satisfied you are now, and that you've done the word. You've been doing the word. So the rebellious are going to dwell in a dry land because they're rebelling against this truth, the Most High. Oh, my mighty Most High, when you went out before your people, when you stepped through the wilderness, Salah, through the wilderness, where we've been for 40 years, just like the first time, the earth shook. The earth shook and the heavens dropped before the mighty Most High. Now, I'm not saying that the Most High can't make the heavens or the stars or the sky drop. He can guarantee you he probably can. No telling what he can do. But until we get our head out of baby land and move on to solid foods, a day of horrible weeping and gnashing our teeth is what is in store. Because we have to understand that this isn't literal. That he's not talking about the heavens dropping. I've been telling you that the heavens are the word, the truth and the word, the Messiah. The heavens dropped. The truth came down. So when he went out before his people, this is him coming out. Him coming out and arising is the word being made manifest, the truth of our home, the latter day revelations. And don't forget, the real word for the book of Revelations is the Hebrew word Hazon, or it might be Greek. It's Hazon. And Hazon means the revelation of the location of the house. And that's nothing. That was a freebie. That's on the house. That ain't nothing though, let me tell you. So when the Most High arose, the truth came out. He stepped through the wilderness. The earth shook. The earth shook. He can definitely make a quake, an earthquake, but that's not what he's talking about. And until you realize that, until you can find it within yourself to no longer refuse the possibility of this not being literal, because your brain is stuck on an earthquake in literal mode. Until you do that, you're out. You're gonna die. I don't know what else to tell you, because these were even if it was a earthquake, it does nothing for your map, your purpose, your journey. It gives you no information, really. I mean, we all should know that the Most High can make an earthquake. But what good does that do me? Well, when you understand that this is a map and code words, it's going to do you all kinds of good, because the earth shook. It's the foundations of the earth of the way we thought it was. The way we thought earth and reality was, our realities, now that the word has been made manifest and come down from the heavens, the earth, our reality has been destroyed, our world view. And what's the world? The world who hears what I just said, they say, no, I know what it says. So there's the problem, right? There's the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, because they're calling the shots. They're making the rules. They're telling the Most High what the words mean and how this is going to go. And even them shouldn't be able to tell you that anyone who thinks it's going to go how they're going to go, it's not going to go how they think it's going to go. Anyone who has read the Bible at all, if they're believers, they will have to tell you that who's going to live are people who aren't telling the Most High how things are going to go. And the ones who die are those who think they can tell him how things are going to go. It's elementary. So you should understand that I'm telling you, that the Most High is telling you, he said the earth shook to help you, to give you. This is that hidden manna. This is how we are sustained and how we grow and move forward and reign and prosper. And the world's refusing it for filthiness, for nothing, for something that's not real. So the heavens drop before the Most High. That's why he says, this Sinai shook before the mighty Most High, the mighty Most High of YAHUAH. And there's a reason why he says the mighty Most High of YAHUAH, and letting you know. You, O my Most High, sent a shower of plenty. You confirmed your inheritance when it was weary. There you go. And that's what my channel has, that's the word I've been sharing. And it's for everyone. But like I said, when I saw the words, this Sinai, I was curious as to what that means. And I came to conclusions that he was just, he wasn't implying that there was two, and he was just saying like this Sinai, and I've had people tell me that, but I eventually just kept going back to it out of curiosity, like that, with my magnifying glass, and I kept digging, and I found out that he was letting us know. That's why this word is here, to help us. And he hid it right here in plain sight. The enemy didn't know it was in here to take it out, because they're only operating on pride, and they've used this word against the people. They don't care about what it really says, and they could never have enough patience and understanding to calm down, to slow it down and look at what it really is saying. So just more evidence of how skillful the mighty Most High and his mighty right hand is. Unbelievable. This whole time, these words were in here that in the end times we were going to need to, and not just me saying it, like a cliche. I'm saying tangible things you can use. And that's what the Most High gives us. He gives us reality. The world is expecting fantasy, and they don't. Why would you refuse to see if there's a possibility that you can really get it in reality instead of living in a fantasy and living like that? Why? What's it matter? What does it matter? What matters is because they don't want to be wrong. It obviously is. Even they probably don't see it that way, but they obviously are only concerned with being right about how they believe or see things. And you have to be willing to just stay at it like an investigator. You have to be an investigator. So he gave us plenty of proof and confirmed it. It's confirmed. That's another thing too. If you just subbed and you just tuned in and you hear what I'm saying, I know, the tendency usually is to think that someone saying something as wild and outlandish as this, when they're saying something like that you tend to think that they just must have misread something or something, and how could he get to that? He's crazy, whatever. I assure you that the reason that I'm saying what I'm saying, I'm only saying it because I've been lit up. Not with theories and questions, but with confirmations. Pounded it into me. All you can handle, more than you can ask for. If you need me to lay out the proof, if I asked you what kind of proof you're going to need, how much, and you said, well, I'm going to need to hear that, you couldn't think to ask for as much confirming evidence I have to prove to you. And all it takes is love, and for you to start and just humble yourself and think, because the world is like, no, it's all you have to do is be washed in the blood, and they think they know, right? So instead of what prevents them from seeing this truth is they think what they think is right is the right way, so they won't come look. They won't come look because they just know, right? So they're not childlike. They're childish because they're sucking on a teat, but they don't have that, just that childlike desire and disregard for what it looks like, or and they just go. A child is thrilled and happy, and he'll go and read the word that his father tells him to read and see it like that. Only the stiff-necked and the hard-headed refuse, who they think that there's no way that something could be sealed from them in the word, that this couldn't happen. So they think they know what's good and they know what's evil. So they're eating that fruit, just like the serpent said in the garden. Eve said, no, the Most High told us not to eat it. The serpent said, And she said, because we'd die. And he said, you will not surely die. I know what, and he ain't gonna, he's lying. He just don't want you to be like him. He knows if you eat it, you'll be like him. He knows if you think you can call the shots and that you know what's good and what's evil, and you are gonna go with your with how you see it, and refuse to do it the way your Creator, who you know knows best, told you to do it, you put yourself above the Most High. You see, just that act alone, the world doesn't realize that they're doing it, for one, and what they're doing in reality is they're building their throne above the Most High, because they're saying, no, I can still have Christmas. I can call him what I want, and if you can, but that means you hate him. And they'll say, no, I don't are you crazy? You're gonna burn in hell. I don't hate him. See, it's whatever that mental disease is that people have, where they just can't see what's real. You know, they can't discern the fake from the real. They don't know if they're living in a dream or not. The world, it's under such a spell that they truly think that they love the Most High, when it don't have anything to do with love. It has blatant disrespect and adultery and hate. And it should be plain to see for everyone. But for some reason, the whole world is fighting to tell you that's what you're supposed to do. That's loving the Most High. So only the true lovers, those who came because they love the Word and the Most High, and they're following it. We don't have to talk about why they need to follow the Word. They're following it. Only those people are ever going to see any of this. No one else is going to have that shower of plenty to confirm the inheritance. No one is. You dwelt in it. Your flock dwelt in it. You provided from your goodness for the poor, O my Most High. So, what's verse 10 telling us? The last part says, you provided from your goodness for the poor, O my mighty Most High. Any thought to what that's talking about? What he's talking about is that how he provided that goodness was that we dwelt, his flock dwelt in it, in the land. Him leading me here, showing me this truth, and got me here. Now everything that's happening, he's provided for me, just like we've been reading. He's now my Father. The chains of captivity have been removed, and I had the key, and you're the only one that has the key to your chains. And they're not going to come off until you realize that there's only two ways to go. You can go to life, or you can go to death. And the rules, the stipulations are set by Chief, the Creator, on how you get to the life and how you avoid the death. And you can't rearrange, you can't make the rules. You got to look at the rules. If you want to get the life, you follow the rules. And the rule is that you got to love the Most High and the land, the whole kit and caboodle, if you want to live. And why that is because if you don't love all that, you ain't going to come to life. You choose death. So, if you can make it here, and like I've said before, just in case anyone thinking this, hears this, if they have this, get this bright idea, if anyone hears this and they believe I'm telling the truth and they really don't care about the Most High and they think they can just come here to escape the wrath, let me remind you, it ain't gonna happen. You might as well get that thought out of your head. The highway isn't just you driving. The highway is you driving for all the right reasons, doing it the right way out of true love, not to get your way and to manipulate. Manipulators aren't coming. So, His goodness that He is providing right now is that highway, and for you to come and dwell with Him in the land. And if you can't, here's how you can prove that that's true. If you can't believe it, think about what it is you can't believe. You can't believe that a man who's made in the image of the Most High, who's reading from His Word, the Most High's Word, they can't go home and receive their inheritance for real. That we only can do it when we're dead or something, or when we see twinklings in the sky. If you can't believe it, but if you look at what it is you can't believe, you're going to realize that what I'm saying, it's true. That will confirm it to you. And for the poor, notice he always uses the words poor, needy, brokenhearted, crushed in spirit, and those who tremble at His word, when He's talking about those who will live. And it's not just like everything Abba does. He didn't just make that rule because He likes it that way. He didn't say, well, only the brokenhearted are going to live. No, it's common sense, it's logic, and, it's everything. Only the lonely and brokenhearted will come, not because the Most High wanted it that way, but because that's how it is, because that's the truth. And not all the brokenhearted and lonely will come, but the ones that will come, they're more than likely going to be the crushed in spirit. So, this next verse, 11, says, Yahuwah gave the word, the women who proclaimed it was a great company. And for a long time, this is proof of me learning and understanding, realizing, understanding the word more correctly. now than I did when it's been a progression. It's been a journey. There's been things that I thought before, and just because I was it was something new to me, and I wasn't as experienced with it as I am now. When I read about the women who proclaimed it was a great company, I always thought to myself about that being literal women, any women who hears this message, and then them proclaiming it. But now, since when I was thinking that, I have learned that more than likely when he uses the word woman, he's talking about the churches and the daughters. So, and like where it says, the Revelation 12 sign says, the woman clothed in the sun give birth to the child clothed in the sun. That's a church, some kind of a church or religion, Christianity or something. So this is talking about any of us out here proclaiming it. I'm pretty sure, but not 100% just yet. Sovereigns of armies flee in haste, and she who remains at home divides the spoil. So this is more tools, more insurance, reassurance for you, more guarantees from the Most High of how things are going to go. He said, sovereigns of armies flee in haste, and she who remains at home divides the spoil. Now, he could very well be talking about kings and armies physically, literally battling, would flee when they seen the Most High. But the sovereigns, when he's talking parables, and he often does, he's meaning what rules the people. What makes your world go round? What rules your world, your life? Now, most of the believers would say they do. They run their life. And they do this and they do that. But if we had to draw an animation of what their life looks like according to what they do every day, what they go through, what it's all for, they would look like like a dog on the end of a dog sled being whipped at the back all day to grind it out, clock in and clock out, whatever it is they do. If they're rich and their whole reason to live is to outdo the neighbors, outdo the Joneses, and keep up with them and fit in and be that class of a person, that's who rules them. Egypt. There's their own greedy game. So it would be obvious that all these other rulers, there can only be one master. You can't serve two. Abba's the master that if you want to live, he is who you serve. Any other master isn't Abba Yahuwah, and you can't serve two masters. Those masters are your demise. So when he rose the word, all this truth, all these sovereigns of armies flee in haste, those Nikes. You realize now that all these religions and churches everywhere are talking falsehood, preaching it with gusto all around the world right now. And it's for Satan in reality. Because it's all, everything they're doing is everything the Most High told us not to do, that he hates, that he'll kill us for, or that we'll die for. And the world's doing it boldly. Yeah, they're blind, but they're doing it, though. That's all that matters. All that matters, if I'm married and my wife cheats on me, I don't care why she did it. I don't care if she was blindfolded or she did. I mean, what kind of excuse would be good enough for me to be, to accept that, and for it to continue on every day, and for me to be okay with it? That's what the world is asking the Most High to be okay with. We love you, and we want to come live with you with all the riches because you're the creator, but we want to stay over here and sleep in Satan's bed 4 nights a week across the street. That's okay, right? It don't matter what you think and how you think it is or looks. All that matters is, what are you doing? What have you been doing? You've been sleeping in their beds. You've got a wall with them on it, inscribed in red, that you've built. Yeah, you probably don't know about it, but it's there. And you ain't going to get none of this good truth. You ain't coming near the table of the Most High till you tear that wall down. And I know most people ain't going to believe it because they call their own shots. And him saying, she who remains at home divides the spoil, is letting you know that that's the shot that he called, the shot caller himself. And that's what you need to do if you want to divide the spoil. That you better go home and stay home. And if you go back through, I mean, some of you might remember, I've been saying, even when you get here, you might want to bolt and fall back on Satan, the sovereign of Ashur, or whoever it is, whatever. Go back to how life was before. If you do, your life it's going to be really bad for you. But if you can stay and hold on, we're getting threshed all the way to the finish line. So, but we're earning, we're earning and getting closer, more intimate every day as we move forward. And it's great. The process is just as rewarding and fulfilling and amazing as the reward. All of it. You can't, it's priceless. You can't put a price tag on it. If you lie down among the sheepfolds, the wings of a dove are covered with silver and her feathers with yellow gold. And when I started to see this back then, I remember looking at that verse 13 and thinking, man, yeah, this has to be some kind of a code or a map or something. Why are they saying it like that? Why just random things are being said? But now that we're looking, using our Berean hats, we're seeing that it is, there's nothing random about this whole chapter. But those who don't love the word, who think they know what it says, they look at it and just think it's just random, and it doesn't mean anything. Look what they're missing out on. He's telling you, if you can do this, I know you're worried that you're going to get fired, or you ain't going to have a job, or you won't. How will you eat? How will you do this? He's letting you know this is his promise. We agreed earlier. You agreed with me that he don't lie, right? And if he tells you something, you can take it to the bank. This is what he's doing. He's telling you, if you do it, you ain't got to worry about no money or nothing. You're going to be where all the wealth is, and you're getting it all. I'll take care of you. I take care of the birds. How much more am I going to take care of my child made in my image that's loved me enough to read diligently enough my word and to come home to me, searching for me, desiring, longing to want to be with me? How much more blessing am I going to give to you? It's all common sense, just the way Abba likes it. You don't have to do like we've been doing, like the world's been doing, and make everything so complicated and unbelievable, and it don't do anything. All the theories, all the smoke and mirrors and the legends and stuff that they've come up with never accomplished one thing except for death and destruction. And as soon as you start seeing that, when you see what the truth is saying, and you do it, you see how greatly it in abundance do you reap. It's where the wealth is, and that the falsehood, it's empty. It's like a fake check or something, like a hot check. It's like you think you're earning this big fantasy that you've been sold, and in reality it's a big lie. And the ones that told it know it, and they're laughing at you. And you're wasting your whole life thinking you're going to get the cash, and when you find out that you got duped, oh man, call for some weeping, I would say, and some gnashing of teeth. When the Almighty scattered sovereigns in it, it did snow in salmon. Now, I still don't know what that is. And yes, please come. Let's work this out together. I don't know. I'm leaning towards verse 14 letting us know some kind of a timeline, like it happened in wintertime when it was snowing. But I could be wrong. I've never looked at the word salmon to see what it is. So I think it's a town, like a location, an area, but I don't know. But see, back when I didn't care and didn't love the word, if I would have read that, I would have just thought, yeah, just more random, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, he wants us to know that it snowed in salmon. But it's all perfect. And being how I'm thinking, the reason I haven't went back and looked too hard into that, because I'm leaning on it being him letting us know that it's going to happen in winter or something like that, like a timeline. The reason I went back and looked too hard into that is because I have a decent idea of the timeline right now because of all this truth we're seeing. Because he tells us that. He tells us what time we'll be in when we're seeing that truth. So I know, you know what I mean? I'm not too worried about it, but see, there's the epicry and dumbassery in me. I should actually go back and just break that whole little verse apart. And I'm not ruling nothing out. And it won't bother me in the slightest to do it. So you should agree, though, that it does look kind of random, and now that you're seeing how it's written, you're coming to the conclusion of it. It either has to be a map, and that it's guiding you to do something, to make, telling you what to do, or whoever wrote it is just crazy and they were retarded, and they would be like a 3-year-old, like, some cats are brown and some are yellow. Take me for ice cream, Mom, and just random stuff in a page. And that's how the Most High He's master class. He hid it in plain sight, but he did it in a way that the people who don't love him and the word, they'll make themselves out to be slobbering idiots over it when they're proven to him that they don't love him. He knew they would be saying that they loved him, and because he's chief, he made it possible so when they did uncover their nakedness in front of everyone, and the gig is up, and we see who you really are, who the people really are. When we're seeing that, those people are going to look so ridiculous because of what they're claiming the word means. That, that like, oh, you just thought this was just random stuff. He was just talking about a mountain here and a mountain there. No, he's told us all this to let us know what we have to do. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. A mountain of the Most High is the mountain of Bashan. A mountain of peaks is the mountain of Bashan. O mountain of peaks, why do you gaze in envy at the mountain which the Most High desired to dwell in? Yahuwah even dwells there forever. And one reason why they think this is just random writings, they've probably been told that David would just be out with a butterfly in his hair, like spinning around and just writing lovey-dove, sweet nothings on paper. And that's what this is. No, this is the key of David. We're in David right now. And that is what people think. They think that Psalms is just like a notebook they found. It was like his diary where he just scribbled in it or something. Basically, they'll tell you there's truth in there and everything, like Psalms 23. That's a map telling you what you got to do. It says, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. People think that that's like an anthem or something. No, he's being literal. He's telling you that you have to do something. He's telling you that when you walk through the valley of the shadow of death, and you have to, you got to come out of it. You're not going to fear no evil, because the Most High is with you. He is your rod, your measuring rod. He tells you where the land is. He tells you what's right and what's wrong. Light your feet. You got nothing to worry about. But you have to do it. You have to do these things. And they think everything's like a cliche, like a meme or something, but it ain't. He didn't just start writing, no, I'm just going to write a mountain of Bashan as a mountain of peaks. O mountain of peaks, why do you gaze in envy at the mountain which the Most High desired to dwell in? Yahuwah even dwells there forever. How important is the mountain of the Most High to this whole story, to our salvation, our deliverance? And these are possible clues about that mountain. And the world don't want to hear if it's a clue. They would rather carry on in their belief that it's all a bunch of positive, good vibration, good vibe quotes, motivational quotes. And they are motivating, yeah. They are that. But man, if you could see what they really are, it would really motivate you. Not to just be a good person, but to where the jackpot is. I said this too. I bet all the people that are laughing at this about what I'm saying, I bet if I told them there's a treasure chest with 20 million in it for you, all you gotta do is come here and get it, I bet they'd be here within 2 days to get that million. If they knew for sure it was there, you think they would? You gonna try to tell me they wouldn't? that they would say, nah, I don't want to for 20 million. They'd be here in no time. Well, the banner has been lifted, and it's letting you know that you can come home and 20 million. How much does the earth cost? And all the gold that's in it, all the diamonds, the rubies, all the knowledge, all the everything. How much is that? Can we work out how much more that is than 20 million? No, we would never find out the price on that because it's all the wealth. So all you got to do, you see how the Most High judges? And for someone who can do this, who loves the Most High, I see now that you could tell me a box was back in Wisconsin that had 20 million in it, but I would have to leave here to go back and get it. I would rather watch it burn than to leave here and miss out on what I already have had confirmed beyond satisfaction to me, that all the wealth, all the treasure is right here. It's mine. All I got to do is stay here and take it. The $20 million, it's insulting. It's a joke. But the world would come, they might come for 50 grand. Probably 10 grand. People would drive all the way here. But they won't come for all the riches there are. And they don't want to believe that that's what it is. That's what it comes down to. But that is what it comes down to. It is. So you can't hide who you are from the Most High. Anyone looking clearly sees that you blow nothing but smoke, and that's what you want to do. And I'm trying to show you, or anyone who will listen to this, if you're living that way, I'm trying to show you how this is a map, and that you can take it, start following it, and refusing it. It's just ridiculous. All you gotta do is look. There's a reason he's telling us about the Most High's mountain and another mountain gazing in it. And that the Most High dwells there forever. The chariots of the Most High, and the Most High dwells there forever. Okay? So he's given you clues, descriptions of the mountain where he's going to dwell forever. The goal is to be with him, dwelling with him in our midst forever. So he's letting you know a couple of key descriptions that we can use to identify the place where we can go and live with him forever. And am I wrong to say that the world, they don't think they need to know where the mountain is? And they say that if we do this, like for me to say that it's literal, that it's real, that we can really go there, they think we're making the Messiah's sacrifice like serve no purpose or whatever. They act like I'm stepping on the blood of the Messiah. That's what they act like. That's what they say. Because they'll tell you that all we have to do is be covered by the blood of Jesus, and I'm going to pray for you. Can I pray for you? And that's what it is. It's thick darkness. And it don't discriminate. It's aimed and destroying the wickedest of people down to the smallest and sweetest and most what the world would think is innocent of people. Everybody's getting it. They're all fleeing. The chariots of the Most High are 20,000. Thousands of thousands, Yahuwah came from Sinai into the set-apart place. Now, I've been kind of seeing how that is a timeline. Like, I'm thinking maybe that's telling me a number of time, because the last part says Yahuwah came from Sinai into the set-apart place. So it's like he's letting us know when to expect the Most High to go into a set-apart place from Sinai. But he says 20,000 thousands. And every time I would kind of think that, I would say, no, he's talking about like a million, like 1,000, 20,000, thousands of thousands. And I got no evidence to the contrary, but because I operate on childlike faith, I can't help it. And the world will say it's childish, I know, but it's what causes me to do these things. I said, man, just let me type it in the Google search bar one time just to see what's thousands of thousands mean. And I only took this one screenshot, and it's one answer to that question out of like 10, and they're all kind of saying the same thing. That this guy said, I never thought about it before, but I guess I would imagine at least 4,000 and less than 200,000, because at that point you'd say hundreds of thousands of dollars. And I looked at a few other places, and you can see that there isn't, no one knows for certain that he meant 1,000 times 1,000, whatever. And that there's a lot of speculation that he could be talking way less than what most people say. Like this guy said, I would imagine at least 4,000 and less than 200,000. So somewhere in that ballpark. So it's just one clue to let you know that there might be something there that we ain't been seeing. And wouldn't you know that where I came to look just to see, you know, because I was like that, I seen they got those numbers right there, 42, and that could be totally coincidence, and it could. I'm not insinuating in the slightest that it's not a coincidence, but I'm not ruling nothing out. Nothing. Oh, dang it. So, as far as verse 17 goes, nothing really one way or the other, but we'll leave that case, that file open, that case open, right? And I'll love every second of learning anything about it that if I do. So, and I'm sure we will. You have ascended on high. You have led captivity captive. You have received gifts among men, and even the rebellious, that Yah, the Most High, might dwell there. There's so much being said in verse 18, and it's really the whole reason I came back to revisit this with you tonight. And it's the reason I knew when I seen this, I knew that you would want to see it if you don't see it. It says, you have ascended on high. You have led captivity captive. I told you I wasn't lying, that this is a treasure map, and it's telling you what to do. I mean, with your life, and at the time of the end, what it's going to look like, what it'll mean, what will be happening, what you'll get, what you can guarantee, you know, you can bank on, you can trust in. The Most High, when this takes place, this treasure map is used, and it serves its purpose, the Most High will have ascended on high to us. Right now, if we don't ever come looking for our home, childlike faith enough and willing to drive whatever, I don't care, I'll walk and climb Mount Everest if I have to. Nobody's going to live unless the Most High has ascended on high. And anyone who does is free from captivity. You lead captivity captive now. All that used to captivate me, that imprisoned and enslaved me, now they are my prisoners and slaves. I tread on those things. They have no power over me, and as a matter of fact, they're unable to even come anywhere near me. And whenever it does, it's not long, we see the Nikes. It can't comprehend the light. But before, I probably had those Nikes on. If I didn't, the Nikes came and roundhouse kicked the snot out of me every day, because I was asleep living a fairy tale fantasy dream out with Santa Claus and Easter bunnies, and no respect or even consideration for the Most High to care what his name was, what he wants me to do. We're doing it my way, baby. That's how I lived before. I was in a dark dungeon, in the pit of the deep is where I was. And now that I've came home, I see what it means to be a family, what a family is supposed to be. A family ain't some a group of people that don't love one another. We can be related, but we're really not related if we don't relate. If we aren't, if we're not truly a family. This is why Messiah said, "Who are my mother and who is my brother?" That's what he meant. And, you know, Christians nowadays, they take offense to that when someone coming to the truth uses that verse. They take offense. But the only reason they do, and the only reason that ever come out for me, is because it was threw up in my face. And people were saying, just because I do something that's abominable and I want you to do it, you have to because I'm your dad. And it don't matter. I'm your dad, and you can't dishonor your dad and not do this pagan abominable thing that I tell you is okay to do. So if you want to live, you have to walk away from that. That don't mean that they're not your father anymore, but when it comes to that, they're not, because you're listening to the real Father and you're doing what he says. Everyone who isn't in the land, wanting the land, coming back, looking, reading, trembling at his word, they're held captive. And the more you claim that you're not, the deeper into captivity you go. You know the first step of coming out of denial, don't you? You gotta admit it, or you ain't coming out. You're sinking deeper in. So yeah, you have received gifts among men. Me, my life. coming out of captivity. Even the rebellious. I was rebellious. I was so rebellious that I only thought I was rebellious because I fornicated and done drugs and drank and hollered and hooted, and that wasn't good. But I had no idea that how I really was being rebellious and just being a horrible excuse for a son of the Most High was by all the things I did that offended him, and I didn't know that I did. Sometimes when I found out I was doing things that offended him, there was times I kept doing them because I didn't know how to stop, like the holidays. But if you have to lay out your list of problems that you have to work out and overcome all your problems, if on that list is the sons of Babylon, and on that list is smoking and drinking, yes, get rid of all of them. Nip it all in the butt. But if we're talking about priority, the sons of Babylon should be first on the list. Go ahead and knock them out first if you can only handle so much at a time. Because yes, those other things are we're not to be drunkards and to be living like the Babylonians. But if we take out what the world sees as rebellion, but we leave in the worst kind of rebellion that they're oblivious to, we're gonna die either way. So if I'm gonna stay and celebrate the sons of Babylon, I'm living it up, right? We're all gonna die anyway. Our priorities are unorganized, though. The world would rather go on dare campaigns, which is all fine and dandy, yes. But ain't nobody going on a anti-Santa campaign or Jesus campaign, where we really need to focus our attention on the real rebellious. And all that, the captivity, the Most High is ascended on high, and that takes captivity captive, which is all that. The highway is the gifts among men, and it comes from even the rebellious. All that in order that Yah, the Most High, might dwell there. So this is the big reveal here, the big pearl. It's something that if you're trembling at this word right now with me, you're gonna love to get a hold of this pearl. The world in their fantasy think that New Jerusalem is a city he's got built up into fantasy land somewhere, and it's just sitting there, and one day he's gonna park it on top of the earth, and we're gonna go hop on or something. Or it's just like a psychedelic trip or something, and you just float around and you're there, but you're not really. I don't know what they think, but let me tell you what this pearl is he just gave to me. The reason it says that Yah might dwell there, it's the same. He's telling you this all through here. He desired to dwell there. All this stuff. It is happening. We're doing it. The Most High's leading us with the word, his mighty right hand, the Lamb. We're doing all this. Everything that we're doing is in order that the Most High lives in Jerusalem, dwells there. If his children who he's called to come and dwell with him don't come, and it's just him, is he going to dwell there? We all dwell there when we dwell together. It's all done to accomplish, to get us all back reunited with one another, to live with one another. We complete one another. We're his inheritance. He's our inheritance. It is all on his timing, but it happens when we come home. It don't happen when you see on CNN that a city lands in Okinawa. No. We have to go home. And again, those who are saying that that is ridiculous, look what they're saying is ridiculous. Why is it ridiculous? And all they'll come up with is that just because they say so. That's not what the Bible says, they'll tell you. Hopefully they open it up and try to prove that to you, but don't hold your breath. But I serve a living, mighty Most High, and his name's YAHUAH. He's the creator, the Most High, the mighty one of the living, not of the dead, of the real, of reality, of what I can have, not maybes. We don't do possiblies or maybes. We do absolutes. The Most High created the heavens, the earth, you, me. He has a reward, a inheritance, he has love to offer you, like a father, the greatest father can. And he wants to love you and pour that love, that blessing out on you for real. Why does the world think that that can't happen? That it can only happen the way the pastors and the preachers have told us it can happen. That we just say some words and we try to pray for everyone who we feel ain't as good a Christians as we are. And we have our prayer meetings and we have a Bible study, but we look like idiots when we read it, just real talk. And you'll agree, everyone who's reading it like an idiot, they'll agree one day, but it'll probably be when they're gnawing and gnashing their teeth, they'll understand how big of a idiot they were to not just give it a chance to see if it was telling you something, a treasure map. You just wanted it to be this twinkling up in a cloud that you think you heard from Paul and all your pastors have been telling you all this time. And you can't imagine, you can't, like a child, imagine there be some other truth that you might have overlooked because you think there's no way it could have got past you. It is the esteem of the Most High to hide a matter. Yeah. Hey, you're thinking he can't hide the matter, or he wouldn't do it, or he didn't do it. So let me know how it works out for you when you telling him what to do, bossing him around, you being his daddy. You should know how that's going to end. I shouldn't have to tell you, but I might have to burp you and keep telling you. If anyone is still fighting and bucking against the possibility of our reward being real and us taking it right now in this life, that this is life. We're living. We're here to live, not to waste away in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and die and then get all the reward then, when we didn't want it now. It's common sense. Common sense. And I can guarantee you one thing, whatever it is that's causing you to dismiss this, to laugh at it, to not look at it, because it can't be that your way is better. Your way can't be better if your way is just say some words, and if you die, you'll wake up and there you are, and you'll come through these pearly gates at judgment and come in. That way wouldn't be better than right now. The Most High said, if you come here now, you can go there now. You got the means, and you can go and get it, and it's a wrap. You'll know for a fact that you're going to get the kingdom. There won't be no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You can sew this deal up. Finalize it. That idea is way better sounding to me. I would rather go ahead and get this thing done and make sure I know where I'm going. I don't like to gamble like that. So being how, if we're speaking hypothetical and they're just ideas, my idea sounds way better. Why is it that you can't just look and see if it could be that way? Why does it have to be your way that's not as good as what I'm saying? There's something that you're not going to do it because because of something, because you don't want to have to go nowhere. You know that the people you try to impress all day to make them think you're something, they'll think you're crazy and that you've went cuckoo, and they won't think highly of you anymore. And you don't want that. You want to keep that image going. Whatever it is that's going to stop you from going to look, whatever it is, it's going to be the cause of all your misery and shame and pain. It already is. But when you realize what it was, it's going to haunt you. And you're going to be admitting it then. You're going to be saying, man, why did I make that horrible of a ridiculous mistake? How did I not? What the heck was I ever thinking? What was I thinking? Well, you're not thinking, I can tell you that right now. But all it takes is a little bit. Just use a little bit of your understanding and let it guide you. Let that lamb be your guide. Blessed be Yahuwah day by day. He bears our burden. The L of our deliverance, Salah, right there. He just backed up what I was saying. Day by day, He provides us with the guarantee of our deliverance, and we see that it's guaranteed every day. Our burden, when we're doing what this map's telling us. Our mighty one is the mighty one of deliverance. You see people say, my God is the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, or my God is an awesome God. Well, in reality, yeah, we all have gods. We all have something or someone that is our ruler that we bow to. In reality, we all do. But in reality, it's not what the majority thinks it is. That they say they love the Most High and He's their loving Father, but their life hasn't been bowed to them, and the receipts will show you that they've been bowing to another God. And you know, you said that the Most High, He don't lie. He's letting you know right there, yeah, everyone has gods, but Yahuwah, He's the only one of deliverance. He's the only one. And when you're subject to Him, you subject yourself to Him, His word, it tells you where the deliverance is. And if you don't go that way to the only deliverance, you do think you're getting the deliverance, but you're not going to find it. Because that God that you serve, it don't know deliverance. And to Yahuwah, the master, chief, belong escapes of death. No God is going to provide an escape from death for you. He is your death. Only Yahuwah provides it. And he's laying it out here for you right now. Indeed, the Most High smites the head of his enemies, the hairy scalp of him who walks about in his guilt. In his guilt. The hair, we know about the shaving. He's talking about covering up. The hairy scalp, walking about in his guilt. So you can see that that's what he's talking about. He's trying to cover up the guilt. And if you get to thinking, is this going to happen? Is the Most High going to knock all this out? Indeed, He will do it. If you get thinking that it ain't going to come, just wait. It will stand. You can I can guarantee you, it will stand. No one or nothing's going to annul it. Yahuwah said, I bring back from Bashan. I bring back from the depths of the sea. The sea is the people. He brings back. He brings you back from the depths of the sea. And he used that word Bashan because the mountain of Bashan gazes in envy at the mountain of the Most High, where He dwells forever. He brings you back and you gaze in envy, like I've been doing. And now that I'm seeing that that's what this means, now I realize that I've been gazing in envy at the mountain before I even knew that that's what this said. And like I said, more and more I see how all the shoes fit. Every step of the way is a nether building block, and it all fits in its place. And it's, you know, I keep telling you that it's a wrap. It's a wrap for me. I've been gazing at the mountain. And why he said that is because if you put the Most High, if He ascends on high for you, all this stuff you're following, all this stuff, you're going to be gazing at that mountain. You will. You'll come back so that you plunge your foot in the blood, that the tongues of your dogs have their portion from the enemies. So everyone's going to be thoroughly satisfied from the eradication of our enemy and oppressor on account of us being healed from all that. There's no expense shall be spared. Everything is going to be brand new, and it is. When you come here and you're doing all that, gazing, coming home, loving, esteeming, you're a brand new person. What the Messiah talked about when he said that you had to be born again. They have seen your goings, O my Most High, the goings of my mighty one, my sovereign. into the set apart place. The singers went in front, the players on instruments after them. The singers, those who sing the renewed song of Moses and the Lamb. The song, you singing the song, is you on the highway and you coming back home. That's why they go in front, because they lead the way. Like I said, no one was waving the banner at me. I just came on a whim, and yeah, you might chalk it up to recklessness, whatever you want to, however you want to label it. It don't matter to me. All that matters is that I'm hearing it happened. So I sang that song. Now I'm waving the banner. Whoever comes in now is going to be spreading the word. And among them were the young women playing tambourines. The birth of the way we'll assemble from now on, the way it's going to be. Bless the mighty Most High in the assemblies. See? Yahuwah from the fountain of Yasharal. This is how he operates. He's saying what he means. What he's saying, it ain't what the world thinks it means. And it means so much more in reality. And he always makes sure to quickly give you the proof of that, of what he's meaning. When he said the young women playing in tambourines, he let us know that he was meaning assemblies. He's not meaning young women like the world thinks. How many ranches of messianic people out here are there right now that are thinking that? If they read that, they're thinking about literal women coming in and people singing songs. This is what the song, when the saints go marching in, this is what it's talking about. It's talking about riddles. Oh, when the saints go marching in. That's what you have to do. And all the evidence, more evidence than you'll ever have time to look at, is in any direction you want to look right now from where you are. That'll show you that's what you have to do, that this is the truth. And the only thing you can do is deny it. Bless the Most High in the assemblies, Yahuwah from the fountain of Yasharal. There is Benjamin, the smallest, their ruler, the leaders of Yehudah, their company, the leader of Zebulun, the leader of Naphtali. And I don't have much covered on that verse 27, but I can guarantee you that it's put there for our benefit and use, and we're gonna have to understand what it says one day, one way or the other. And there's a reason he's wanting us to know something about leadership, and those names, he's letting us know those names are important. Your mighty Most High has commanded your strength. Be strong. Here's all the more proof you need that this is the truth. How does he command your strength? I guarantee you not many people even think about what this is saying. He commanded your strength. He gave you the commands, the instructions, the Torah. And what's your strength? Being a part of the family is where the strength is. You know, the safety comes in numbers of your family when you're under your dad's wings. I mean, I guarantee you, most sons know that under their dads, behind their dad's back is where they would rather be to feel safe. Well, the only strength comes when you're under the shadow of the Most High, when you're dwelling with him in the house, where the power is, the strength. So he's commanded your strength. He told you in his commands what you had to do. He said, and if you do this, you'll never be cut off. You'll be blessed. He told you, promised you. He gave you all the guarantees, and they are guaranteed. Satisfaction guaranteed. Everything he told you that would happen to you, that he would give to you if you do what he tells you to do, it will happen. That's the strength. So the strength everyone needs has already been commanded to us. He's commanded it. Be strong. How you be strong? Go do the commands. Do that which is continual. Meet at the appointed times. Follow the instructions. Understand that Dad is the one that knows, and we take our advice and guidance from him. And yeah, if someone tells us something and it sounds cool, that can be cool, but if it don't stand up against the word, if we make it subject to the word, to the Messiah, and it is destroyed before the word, and we can't associate with that. Oh my Most High, this you have worked out for us. See how he worked it all out from the beginning to the end. Every little detail. Because of your hakal at Yerushalayim, sovereigns bring presents to you. Wink, wink. I'm praying that somebody, anyone hears this and they see how this is facts and that this is telling you, and you find the desire to start examining this. And that when this video ends, you go right to it and you start looking for more clues to see if it's true, and you see that it's true, and you follow it, you do what it tells you to do, and you wind up here. Look me up. Rebuke the wild beast of the reeds, the herd of bulls with the calves of the peoples, each one humbling himself with pieces of silver. Scatter the peoples who delight in conflicts. That's what the people are doing. They got their calves. They're doing what they want to do. And their silver, all that stuff that they're choosing is going to be their shame. And all those people, you scatter them. And how do you do that? Well, just like you do with cockroaches. You turn the light on and poof, they're gone. And the only time they hang around is when you start turning that light down. Turning it off. Don't ever dial it back. Keep it cranked. Ambassadors come out of Mitzrayim, out of Egypt. Cush stretches out her hands to the mighty Most High. They're going to come from Cush and Egypt, Mitzrayim. Sing to the mighty Most High, you reigns of the earth. Praises to YAHUAH Salah. And the world in their delusion, they think that's talking about during the praise and worship this Sunday. We're going to sing, baby. We're going to rock and roll and get slain in the spirit. Nope. That singing, it does nothing. The singing of the Song of Moses and the Lamb, that renewed song, that fulfills everything. Those are the things that the Most High talks about. He's talking about what matters, the real things, the meat of things, things that actually hold weight, that are beneficial, that we can use. All the rest, it's nothing. It's just like a hot check or fake lottery ticket or something. I don't know. It's a lie. To him who rides on the ancient highest highways, see, he sends out his voice, a mighty voice. To him who rides on the ancient highest heavens. The ancient highest heavens. The heavens is the truth. The ancient truth. The Song of Moses. What happened before? The old paths. The instructions. The highest of heavens is the most closest to the correct, the full truth, the whole truth. If that's you, if you are an ancient highest heaven rider, right there where you're riding, his voice was sent out, and it's a mighty voice. Latch on, ascribe strength to the Most High, and he's told you how to do it. He commanded it to you. All you got to do is go. A band of angels is around you when you're a part of the family. And if you're not a part of the family, the Most High is not going to give you that kind of a security detail, because those details are reserved for family only. If you're Baal's son, the Most High's not surrounding you to protect you in order for you to carry on in Babylon. The strength is in the family. We've been commanded and told and given the invitation. All we got to do is take it, want it, and be the family. Love and be committed in loving our family and our Abba, our Most High. His excellence is over Yasharal, letting you know where you belong, where you got to be. And his strength is in the clouds, The heavens is where the truth comes from, and the latter rain, the dew. When you want to know where to look for your strength, you go to the Word, and in its season it rains down and provides that strength you need. Oh my Most High, awesome from your set apart places. The El of Yasharal is he who gives strength and power to his people. Blessed be the mighty Most High. Blessed be the mighty Most High. You should be well aware now that I wasn't even exaggerating at the beginning when I told you this was a treasure map and you must follow it. And if you do, it's all laid out for you. You can come right here to your throne. She's all yours, bud. Here's the keys. Take her for a spin. But because I'm epic, I should have said that, and expect, and I should let it be known that I should expect, if I'm smart and wise, I should expect there be plenty of people who still say I was BSing at the beginning. And that's totally fine. You totally can say that I was wrong, that this isn't a treasure map, and that it isn't telling you what I told you, and we've seen that it's telling us. You can say that. But it means nothing if you can't prove that. And for those who love and tremble at the word, you just got the proof.